Hey, this is Stacey. I want to talk to you about my buddy experience this semester. A little background information about the elementary school I was at is located 1 mile from DC. A total of 27 countries were represented in the school. Students from Spanish-speaking countries dominated the student population, and the school only had 7 ESOL teachers for the students. This buddy experience gave me insight into a completely different school environment. The fact that 90% of the students in the school are Hispanic and there are several students in each class that did not speak English proficiently opened my eyes to a new school experience for both the students and the teachers. The students were very eager to learn despite language barriers. I felt like I was really able to make a difference while I was there 1 day a week. I gained even more respect for the teachers who not only had to teach children, but children that spoke different languages all together in the same classroom. My buddy is a recent immigrant from El Salvador. The first day we met, she was very shy, and we barely spoke to each other. But by the end of the semester, I was able to use a Spanish-English translating dictionary, and we had a very good relationship, and I was able to see a lot of progress in her work. Some of the biases I developed had to deal with cultural diversity. I grew up in a middle to upper class neighborhood. The community around this school was more of a lower income, impoverished area. Also, some of the lifestyles of the children were things I weren't used to as growing up as a child. A lot of the kids lived in homes with several different families and were experienced to a lot of real life situations at a young age. The first day of class, we were speaking about community and neighborhoods and asking the kids some of the problems in their communities and solutions. One of the girls I observed drew a picture of a man trying to kidnap her sister in her house. I was very alarmed by this, and I asked her what her picture was. She casually told me what happened. The bias that influenced my interpretation of this had to do with not being able to understand something like this happening in my community, but would happen in a community that's lower income and more poor. I later talked to my cooperating teacher about this experience, and she informed me that you really need to be open-minded when working with kids that are experienced to real life situations at a young age. Another buddy entry had to deal with a day after the kids took a pre-MSPAP test, and the teacher had me post a data wall publicly in the classroom that posted the learning abilities of the students in different categories. When the kids came in, they were all looking at the board and making fun of the kids that were in the basic or lowest level of learning abilities. The teacher then yelled at the kids because she didn't want them looking at everyone else's name, but it was posted publicly. I had empathy for both the kids and the students after this situation. The students because they were embarrassed if they had a low grade that everyone saw, and also for the teacher because she went on to tell me this was a requirement of the school that she didn't want to do, but she had to be able to classify the kids and know what levels they were at. Another thing that happened was a new student entered our class second to last day I was there, who was also from El Salvador. She sat next to my buddy because they could speak Spanish together. My teacher interrupted the classroom and separated them, saying, "This is America and we only speak English here." I felt like my teacher was being a little too harsh and didn't need to embarrass the students. But I later found out that the school has this English-only policy, and also that my teacher was probably a little frustrated because she did not speak Spanish and it was interrupting the classroom. Some of the things that impact me for future in teaching after this buddy experience was that I realized that schools, especially in these inner city schools, need more ESOL teachers and people that are willing to work with students that don't speak English. I've decided to further my education in Spanish and possibly become an ESOL teacher.